Hello, my name is Naomi. I've lived here at Wasatch Apartments for about a year now, and one of the reasons that I'm making this video is because I wanted to ask the residents if you would be willing to sign an online petition requesting Wasatch Property Management to finance a proper security system for the residents here. Now, I don't know you, you don't know me, we might have seen each other around, but chances are you have experienced some of the same things that I've experienced living here. So, for example, the swimming pools are unregulated. At least last summer, they don't check who's entering the swimming pool, so unsupervised kids come and use the swimming pool, and sometimes there's a lot of profanity, sometimes there's fights. I've seen sexual activity in the jacuzzis. I've seen human hair floating around. When I first came here, I was told the clubhouse was going to be open for the residents to use, and even my husband was told the same thing. Well, I've been here for a year now, and the clubhouse is still not open, so I was lied to. I was told that there would be a fitness center. I complained and complained and complained, and the previous property manager, the guy who's gone now, he just ignored it. And then I had to complain, to the corporate office in Utah and take photographs of the decrepit condition of the fitness center. And finally, we were able to at least have it painted and cleaned up. The problem now is that there are no permanent weight stack pins installed in the weight machines because they don't have a proper security system. Kids come in, they vandalize, they steal the weight stack pins. So now if you want to actually use the equipment, either you're going to have to purchase your own weight stack pen or go to the leasing office and ask to borrow theirs, which is all not reasonable. I mean, if you rent an apartment, you're also renting the amenities that they advertise on the internet. You can't turn the television on and off in the fitness center because they don't even have a remote control. And they don't have a remote control because they know that if they have one, somebody's going to come in and steal it. The video cameras in there are fake. I heard a rumor that some people were mugged in there and that the televisions were stolen. So there's a lot of problems, and I want to just talk a little bit about what I saw today. My neighbor told me that she had this horrible experience at 4 o'clock in the morning where she had to go to work and the door was locked to the hallway. I mean, it wasn't locked, it was closed, and she tried to open it, and then she opened it a little bit, and she found a guy sleeping in his own vomit. I mean, I'm thinking, maybe he just didn't make it to his apartment and he vomited and passed out in there. And, this poor woman was terrified and she didn't know. I mean, he woke up, he saw her, she didn't know if she should go back to her apartment because her apartment was right next to the door and maybe he would follow her. It was really disconcerting, and actually she showed me where it happened, and I opened the door and I looked and there was this big pool of vomit. And I went downstairs and I also saw that the person had literally defecated on the carpet. I mean, there was a nice big pile of shit right there on the carpet. So we went down to the leasing office and talked to one of the leasing agents, and it was the same old song and dance, the same old lip service. Well, if something bad happens, you just got to call 911. And here's the number for the security patrol. You know what? The security patrol are fake security patrol. They're rent-a-cops. I mean, this place needs a real security system. I've looked at a lot of the online reviews, and I've even heard things about cars being broken into our parking lot. And as many of you know, last summer a young man just down the street was murdered because someone was trying to steal his brother's car. So one of the things that I was told today by one of the leasing agents is that Wasatch Property Management are not going to just finance a security system unless they see a genuine need. But almost in the same breath, she also told my poor neighbor who had this horrible experience that she should have just called 911 because the police are constantly patrolling the area. Well, if the police are constantly patrolling the area, then you know it's a high crime rate, ergo, there is a need. So why is that need not being communicated to the regional office or to the corporate office? I don't know. I have to say that this is literally one of the worst places that I've ever lived in my life, and the worst thing is that I feel like I'm stuck. I mean, my husband and I have to live here until we, have the money to buy a house. So I'm thinking, what about all the other people who live here? I mean, I know that there are people who live here who maybe are lower income and don't have the means to just pack up and move. I mean, I think that's one of the things that bothers me too. if you don't have the means to pack up and move, you're stuck. You're stuck in a place that has no proper fitness center because the weight machines aren't even working properly. You can't really feel secure in there because people were robbed. The cameras are fake. They refuse to put in a proper security system. How can you really feel comfortable even using the swimming pool when it's dirty and unregulated? And, you know, I think even the jacuzzi down there at the clubhouse, they have garbage in there. Last time I saw it. And one of the things that the leasing agent said was that they couldn't lock the doors because it was a fire hazard. And you know what? At least in New York City, I've taken property management classes, and I know that you can actually put a proper code, password protected security system on the doors. Of course, anybody can exit, but they can control who enters. All they have to do is put down the money, and I think that's the problem. That's what's going on here. This company's not going to want to put in the investment. They know the need. I mean, they have seen all the negative reviews on Rate My Apartment and all those other places. So there's no possible way that this company cannot know that there is a genuine need for a security system. I think this complex is so big that it's going to be really hard to regulate and manage, and there needs to be real central authority and control to regulate something so big. And the only way to do that is to have a proper security system in place with a card, and that way at least the security patrol will know when somebody enters and exits the building, when they enter and exit the fitness center and the clubhouse. Anyway, so I have my own theory about, at least if I was the boss, what I would do. And I don't want to really just be the spokesperson for all the residents who live here. I don't think that's fair because I know that there's a lot of other great people who live in this community who, you know, are hardworking. You pay your rent. You don't want to live like an animal. You don't want drunk people passed out in the hallway. You're not worried about your kids running up and down the stairs and skidding on some bum's vomit. You know, you don't want to live like that. So I want to hear in the comment section what you think. What kind of security changes do you think need to be made? One of the things that I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do is to go to the video description box below and take a look at the petition that I authored a long time ago. I authored this petition before the whole vomit in the hallway thing, feces thing happened today. Before that happened, I wrote this online petition. And I haven't had time to really promote it or really to talk to anybody else in the community because I'm incredibly busy with my children and my family and all that stuff. So the online petition is linked in the video description box. If you please read the petition, if you are in agreement with what is stated therein, and if you think that having a proper, good, intelligent, rational security system is the right thing to do, please sign the petition. Don't put your apartment number. I don't want anybody to identify you. I don't want, don't give anything that's too much private information. But let them know in the comment section that you live here. Feel free to put your name, but don't put your apartment number. And I think what we have to do is speak the language that they understand. And their language is money. It's going to be dollars and cents. They're not going to want to pay the money for this kind of a security system, and they're going to perform all sorts of mental gymnastics and pay lip service, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be a bunch of talk, and that's what really angers me, is I hear talk, 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 but I don't see anything actually being done. Nothing's going to be done here. Nothing's going to be done until we can get the people who are giving this company their money to stop and say, we're not going to renew our lease until you put in a proper security system here. You know what? And it sucks, but I think that that's the right way to go. So, video description box, there is the petition, and it's I-petitions, install new security system at Wasatch Hills. We also have now a Facebook page called Fix Wasatch Hills Apartment. And then there's the YouTube channel. And in the event that they completely ignore us and, who knows what kind of mental gymnastics or hoops and whatever they're going to come up with. In the event that they don't put in the security system and ignore us, what I will then do is try to organize some online chats where myself and maybe other members of the community, we can get together, we can get online, maybe through Skype or some other, there's a million online sources for how to talk to other people, several people at the same time in one forum. But we can all get together and talk about what our next move is going to be, because if they just ignore us, if they ignore all of us, what we have to do is make it in their best interest to do this. And that should be going beyond just leaving negative reviews for them online, but rather to say we're not going to renew our lease, you know, and that's the way to get their attention. So I think the thing to do is to do this appropriately, make the request and be polite and be respectful about it, but also be very clear that there is a problem and the need is real. So I know that you guys out there, that you've seen or experienced other things. I mean, gunshots in the middle of the night, people outside setting off firecrackers and making a lot of noise. Really, the noise doesn't bother me too much. I kind of like people, you know, having a good time on the weekends. You know, I think that's all right. That's cool. But gunshots and you know, not being able to access the clubhouse, that really bothers me. I think that's not okay for them to say nobody's allowed inside of the clubhouse. And you know, it's because they're afraid that they're going to be robbed blind, right? And it seems to me that they care about protecting their own property, but they don't care about protecting the residents, which is why in that fitness center, they won't even put in proper security cameras. People were robbed in there. The televisions were stolen. They were robbed. Did they put in a new security system? No, because they don't care about the safety of the residents. If they do care about the residents, they will put in a proper security system. So anyway, the petition's here. Please read it. Please sign it. And go to Facebook and leave comments. I would love to hear from all of you. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.